Greetings, dear hearts. Welcome back. Welcome back. Figured out the camera issue. It just looks like each week I'm going to have to turn the camera off and on because as soon as I turned it off and turned it back on, the setup was set up. So I'm back and hopefully we get to have a live. So, welcome and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you're having a wonderful Mother's Day, that your children were thinking of you and came with love and appreciation. I'm here in the craft room and doing one of the things I really love, and that's crafting. I started the last video, and what I was doing was working on a tag or a card for the Dear Heart of the Week. The Dear Heart of the Week in week 3 was Poetic Angels. And look at here. I'm going to have to fussy cut and shine this baby up, because this is going to be the tag for Poetic Angels. Loving it. So you don't have to watch that first live. When you see the lives broadcasted, I'd say skip that first one. That's only about 18 to 20 minutes long. You couldn't get a good view. And all I had got to do was fussy cut and whine. Whine because of the fussy cut, and whine because the camera wasn't working. I should be drunk, right, with all that whining. But things are better now in round 2. And the fussy cutting is done. And I'm going to say forgive my fingernails. I didn't get a chance to remove the old polish from last week. It's one of the reasons I don't wear fingernail polish, because it chips and needs to be repainted just a little too often for Miss D with all the crafting I do. I almost was gonna paint my nails on the camera with you guys today, but I said just tell them what's up and get started. I'm feeling better already. We're gonna start calling me 2-Take D. Takes 2 takes to get it live with Miss D. Hello, Jasmine. Yes, it's working. I will be conscious to do a test view or cut on, cut off each week before I start, because I had the same problem last week. Don't want to frustrate people out there. But this is the life of a real regular person wanting to be a YouTube influencer. I'm going to get there one day. We don't know what day, but one day. I actually like this image, black and white, on this card. That looks good. Because what I was thinking of doing was cutting it out and making it 3-dimensional. Let me think about that. 2 shakes. That's looking good. Just want to take a peek at the other tags. They're not all going to be the same, but I want them to kind of be in the same family. So the tags that I made for Dear Heart of the Week for week 2 and week 3, we keep in my special album. I love this album. And so let me see what their tags are looking like. Here's their tags. So they kind of look mostly like cards. So I guess I could get away with making that a card, just make it special. Yeah, okay. see what we can do. I love this book. And my dear hearts get to go in here. All right. So, with that being the case, we could jazz up the deer and do the background. Let's give it a whirl. The first thing I think I want to do is let's coffee dye the background. And see if we can get it to pop. I think I want to put some glitter actually on the deer and make it shine. I'm thinking, thank you, Jasmine. Yes, one of my thrift store finds that album. Oh, dear hearts, can you see my earrings? It was a Mother's Day gift from a lovely daughter. Oh, that says Miss, and the other ear says D. And that same lovely, lovely daughter, can you see my shirt? Ooh, Miss D is done up. Okay, I love this gift. Special, special daughter. Everybody should have one like that. Thank you, Erica. Mommy loves you. I love all 5 of my children. The 4 here on earth with me is Stacy. I love you. Yes, it's Mother's Day and I'm thinking about my children. Let's see what this brush might be a little big. Might want to make that a little smaller. Brush. Ooh, got the coffee grinds in it, but it looked like he's in the forest, huh? I love playing with coffee. Actually have to make a fresh batch. This is a lady deer for Poetic Angels. I probably could have fussy cut it a little tighter. I thought I was gonna cut it all the way and let it dangle, and I stopped and I already glued this down. But I could do this image like I did Cheryl's. I made one here on live and then I upgraded it during the week. May happen to this one, but right now I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Live crafting. Get what you get. The whole thing is to have the joy of it. And dear hearts, this is joy for me. This is a Mother's Day gift to myself to be able to just sit in the craft room and turn on the camera and be live with you all and just create. I like that. That's looking pretty good. So I just put coffee in the old matte gel jar. This is how you get a dirty mat. Can you see that? I think I'll put a little heat on it. The heat seems to make the coffee darker. So I'm going to mute for a minute and I'm going to heat this baby up. There we go. That's nice, nice, nice. Liking that. Glue it a little. Oh, underneath the negative image is nice. Got a couple little things I'm going to play with when I'm not live. One day I'm going to do one of these lives where you just get to see me play as hard as I play. I would lift this up and get that negative underneath there and play with it. All right, now let's glitter. This baby up. Should I do gold, silver? Miss D's favorite color is blue. But I think a shiny gold would be nice. Ooh, let's see if I can find some gold glitter. I forgot I gave a lot of my glitters to one of my daughters. And I don't think I left one in here for me. What kind of craft room is this without glitter? Let me see. Well, dear hearts, looks like it's gonna be silver. Maybe I can put some gold on it and then sprinkle a few of the silver flakes on it. Oh, it looks like a order to Amazon is necessary. Woohoo! So a little gold paint. Let's get it shiny. And then we'll move on and get to our journals. How's that journaling going for you? Have you been working in your books? I've been working on mine. Mine is ready to be bound. I'm going to bind that. And I may even get to decorate. Because I want to get to these things on my desk and make some tags and cards for the books. That's what all this is. Making embellishment. Okay, let's get the hands good and dirty, and then we'll say we're having a good Mother's Day. I don't know why that glue dried up like that. So I hope you got your journals out and you're crafting along with me, playing in your journals. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at here. Get some of this stuff out your face. Loving it. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Could have did a little more fussy cutting. And these antlers would have really showed off. Oh, you added a few to yours, Jasmine. Nice. Today I'm going to bind mine for those that haven't bound theirs. They can see how to do that. I like this gold on here. this brush. Didn't put it on a palette, just stuck my brush down in the jar. And that's messy. I'm gonna be sure to do some shots today with my fancy Miss D Do-It-Yourself DTV shirt. Can you see that it's saying Miss D Do-It-Yourself DTV here in this ring? Oh wow, I'm loving this shirt. I'm gonna stand up again after I get my hands out of this paint and let you really see this. It's one of my favorite gifts. You guys should get a daughter like mine. I guess my story time should be kind of Mother's Day related. And so, let's have a little story time about being a mom. You know, I've been a mom for 40 some years, like 45 years. I've been a mother. I have given birth to 5 children, and it was the main thing of my life. It's the main thing that Miss D wanted. I didn't have big dreams growing up. I just wanted to be a wife and a mother. And God was good. I was both. I got to be a wife for 26 years. And in that marriage came 5 beautiful children. I had 4 daughters and 1 son. And I'm going to tell the story that I guess my daughters might not love. That, use your top camera to show us because it's big, the big view. Oh, thank you. Can you see? Can you see? Oh, you guys are going to get a fashion show before it's over because Miss D is showing off. Yeah, she's loving it. Can you see? Can you see the good sparkly spark? I better stop before I get paint in my hair. Back to the story time. Story time of Miss D becoming a mother. So, I had those 5 kids. I wanted 5 kids. I can remember being a little girl and dreaming about when I grow up, I'm going to get married and I'm going to have 5 kids. Here's the part my daughters may not like. I'm going to have 5 sons. Have 5 boys. I love boy energy. And believe it or not, I got married. That story of that first child, oh God, it's a story time of itself. I'm not free to tell that story. One day I may get the okay. But I ended up having those 5 kids. And 4 of them were daughters. And 1 was a son. I had to have a set of twins to get that boy. So I gave birth to twins, a daughter and a son. They were born premature, born at just 28 weeks. So, you know, it takes 40 weeks to deliver what they call a full-term baby. And so the twins came at 28 weeks. They were the smallest little babies you ever seen. They were 2 pounds and 4 ounces. My daughter weighed 2 pounds and 4 ounces. And my son weighed 2 pounds and 6 ounces. 2 pounds, you guys. And it was something to see. My oldest daughter was 5 years old by the time the twins came, and she had this doll. Back in the day, you remember the Cabbage Patch dolls? The little dolls that came with birth certificates, and you got to name your doll. They were called the Cabbage Patch doll. Well, my oldest daughter had got given a Cabbage Patch doll from her grandmother, and that doll was 3 times as big as my baby. Oh, she came to the hospital to visit the twins, and she had that doll. Her doll's name was Ida Britta. I'll never forget it. My daughter wanted that doll, and her grandma stood in a line in New York City for hours to get her Ida Britta. And when I saw my daughter looking through the little glass window at me and the twins, it broke my heart that that doll was so much bigger than my baby's. But it's a happy ending story. The twins, even though they were only 2 pounds, they were fighters and still are. They're strong people. They had to stay in the hospital, of course, for weeks and weeks. And I was able to breastfeed them, and they took to that really well. So they were able to get out of the hospital and come home with us at about 6 weeks. And that was a blessing. That was the best Mother's Day gift ever. Those babies, A, to be born alive that early, and B, to gain weight and be able to come home within, it was about a month and a half, 6 weeks before they came out of the hospital, which I hear is really a miracle early for babies to be born so small and then to be able to come home that rapidly. I say that's because of breast milk. Miss D was able to produce enough breast milk to feed her babies and some other babies that was in that intensive care. I shared the milk. Yeah, so that's when I began my journey, really, of being a mother. Then by that time I had 3 kids, those 2 twins and my oldest daughter. And it was really interesting trying to get the twins to stay healthy. They grew fast. By the time they were 3 months old, the doctor said to me, he looked at them, I had them really chubby. And he said, okay, you can stop now. They were busting out of their little skins. I got some little pictures of their eyes bulging out their head. I was making sure they was eating. Ooh, do you love that? Can you guys see this? Isn't that pretty? It's beautiful. I'm liking that. I think I'm getting warmed up for real. It's starting to come around. I'm leaving some of the black showing. I do want to go right in here a little bit more. And I think I want to put some white on the tail. Because Poetic Angel is a fancy little spirit. So we want this deer to be fancy. Put a little more coffee around the edges a little bit. See if I can darken it up a little more. Ooh, it's coffee with the gold. It's beautiful. I don't know if the camera's letting you see this subtle coffee with the gold. It's beautiful. I just wiped my brush a little bit and went into the coffee, so it has some of the gold in it. Do that again intentionally this time. Okay, I don't want to spend our whole time together on the tag, but I definitely want to do it. I do want to bind the book and use some of these materials on the, oh, this is beautiful, the little sparkles in this coffee. It's beautiful. I wasn't expecting that. This is the part of crafting and creating I love, when the unexpected happens. So I guess I did do a little story time. That's not the story time I was planning on giving, but we got weeks and weeks to get to it. The story time that's coming was last week here on the live. We were talking about internet dating, and Miss D got a story time or 2 or 3 about some of that. We'll get into that next week or so. But for Mother's Day, just appreciating the fact that I was allowed to be a mother. And like I said, one of the children, one of the twins actually, Erica is one of the twins, so the twins' names are Eric and Erica, was the one who made these beautiful earrings. Okay, I don't know if you can get to see this side. It's saying Miss D. And in my shirt, let me give you a little view. Miss D showing off. She just stopped crafting to show off. Look at here. It's images of Miss D. Look at there. I love it. Let me show you my earrings up close. In this kit, oh, look at that. That's beautiful. You know, blue is one of my favorite colors. And this baby sparkles with the blue and the silver look. Oh my God. Miss D. Oh, this should be a thumbnail. So that was my Mother's Day gift from my daughter Erica, and I love it. Love it. She's starting to be quite crafty, you know? Okay, so now we mess with the camera, right? That's all right. That's all right. I'll get it. There we go. Now we're getting belly shots, but that's okay. Yeah. She's the daughter that has that Cricut that I said we were sharing. And she made this with the Cricut. Ooh, look at this. This is beautiful, you guys. Yeah, she hooked me up. Yeah, she did. She's just starting with that Cricut, and she's doing all this already. I'm impressed. Give that girl a couple months, we ain't gonna know what to do with her. Oh, I love that. Love that. All right. And then I want to do the little tail, give it a little something, something. Yeah, it's a quiet Mother's Day around here. can say it's a good one. The sun is shining here in Seattle. I'm in the craft room with my dear hearts. And we got the camera working. Since this is a girl, let's give her a good tail. Good bushy tail. Little fur around her little neck, down her chest. Do girl deers have chests or breasts? You're gonna fuzz hers up. Loving it. Cute, cute. Can you see that? Just about. Coming along. Okay. I'm going to dry that a little bit. I think we need to give her a little eye. Just getting her face a little more solid. It's cute. Okay. I could fuss with this for hours, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to just do a little around the sides. Tag her name, do her eye. Right after I dry her. So I'm going to mute again and dry her real fast. Hey, Brother Mike, thank you for the Mother's Day wishes. You found me. I just saw a little while ago that you had called. That's nice of you to come on and wish me a Mother's Day. Oh, I got this dryer on. You can't hear me. I just noticed my brother Mike in the chat. Hi, Mike. Thanks for the Mother's Day wish. Oh, that's really cool. I just saw on my phone a little while ago that you were trying to call me, but I was getting ready to do the live. And so I said I would call you after I got done. Thank you. Oh, that's so cool you stopped by. So we're doing our Sunday warm-up. Did you hear the story time? I did a little story time about the birth of the twins for Mother's Day. Okay, now we're going to try to put an eye in here. Little scared, right here. Just give it a try. How about... And because she's a girl, she needs some eyelashes. I'm going to leave it as that. Can you see her little lashes? Let's see. Cute. All right. And again, this is for Poetic Angels. So let's tag this and move on to our journals. Should have a little bit smaller brush. Trying to freehand is a little bit tough, especially live. You gotta have a steady hand. Did I spell that right? Whoa. That's a C. Not to worry, I can fix that. The beauty of crafting is there's never a mistake you can't fix, especially when you're painting. You can always go back in. All right. And we want to go angels. Trying to keep up with the curly lashes, yeah. Isn't that cute? Because it's a girl. I need a smaller brush, but I'm just going to go with it. Cute. And then I just want to do a little bit around the edges, and we're going to call that a tag for Poetic Angels. I'm going to try to get that S in there. I'm going to try to make the tip of the brush really small. You see what I'm doing? Go for it. It's really close to her leg. I gotta find my fine brush. Living on the edge, living on the edge. There we go. chipped on the edge with that one. We're just going to do the edges, and then we're going to move on. And I think I'll bind my journal first, and then we'll do the scraps that are on the desk. Oh, you heard my story time? Yeah. Story of birth. And I'm lucky I still get to be a mom. Some of it's tough, some of it's just pure joy. And I'll take it all, I guess. Can you see that popping now? Once I start coloring the edges. Like that. I like it. Like I say, after I get a few more of the Dear Hearts of the Week done, I'm going to make a banner and we're going to hang them here in the craft room. We're going to call that, I just want to put one little strip of gold back here. Some kind of way the color was off. And you know, I can fuss around with this forever, but I'm not going to. We're going to call that. She might need a bow or something, but after she dries, I may do a little more to her. So, Poetic Angels, thank you for being a dear heart. I hope you appreciate this. And we will continue on making tags for the Dear Hearts of the Week. We still have a couple more to do to catch up. But that's the Dear Heart tag for this week. All right. So, I hope you got your journals out. I'll show you what I've been doing with mine. I want to sew the signatures in with you all and make a couple tags today. I have been in my journal a bit this week, and I got the pages in order. I haven't decided what I want to do with the cover quite yet. I'm still playing around with it. I'm just going to move some of this out the way. And we'll bring it back up when we get ready to make the tags. I just want you to get a clear shot on how we're going to sew these in. Plenty things out for tags. All right. So I've been playing around with my cover. This isn't affixed permanently. It's just here for the moment. I'm thinking something like this, or that that I was working on, or even some jewels. But I'm going to play with these on the embellishments. So I just want to sew mine in. So I have two signatures. The signatures are our collections of paper. My inside cover is my brother Mike still here. Look at my inside cover, bruh. You know that beauty? That beauty is my mother, for all you dear hearts that don't know, when she was quite young. So she's the inside cover. My back cover will add to... Today I want to sew the signatures in. I think I want this one. And none of these things are permanently affixed yet, because I'm still making decisions. I think I want to have this one next to my mom, and the second signature in the back. And so this signature, a quick little look, I think I have 8 pages in each of my signatures. So let me just count real quick before we sew it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and center. So I have 9 pages in this signature, and that will you count the fronts and backs, so you double up 9 to the 18, and then you double up one more time and get the 36. So this signature will have about 36 pages. Before I sew it in, I want to do one more thing. I want to take away this white look, because it's kind of, I don't want it to take away from the image right next to it. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to go with this, that, not white, maybe this, and just cover up the edge a little bit more. And then we start the sewing process. So there's multiple ways to get your signatures in. You can do the bookbinding method, which I'm going to do today. We're going to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You can sew it on a sewing machine. You can glue it in. Don't do that, tape. So I'm putting this on just for a little extra look. And it ripped right there, but I can fix that. For a little extra look and a little more strength on the binding. And I got these tapes from off Amazon, and I love them. So that little piece right there I'll fix after I adhere this one down. It's my back. I think I was going to cut this, but I think I'll just go all the way across. Nice and simple. So if you haven't done this part of your journal, you want to kind of watch me sew it in. I'm going to take this little extra piece that's hanging over, I'm going to trim it and put it, that little piece that ripped on the front, I'm going to add that there. Just going to snip it. Oh, I'm off view. And where did that little, right here. Just gonna line it up. And I'll probably be doing some more decorating on top of that. Put some stickles on after we bind it. Today is all about get this baby bound up. Yeah, it is some fancy tape. Didn't cost much though. You can get it for a little bit of nothing on Amazon. Okay, now the pieces that's hanging over, I'm just going to trim those off. I'm going to take my bone folder over my pages so they're nice and creased, and then we're just going to sew it in. All right. We're making progress. So this is a step that I think everybody should do if you want your pages to lay flat. Is take your bone folder or the back of your scissors and crease all your pages. Let's see. I have my little bone folder here, and I'm just gonna crease the edges, and that'll make the pages lay flatter, and I get to do my trim work while I'm doing that. Trim off any extra paper you have hanging. These aren't permanently fixed yet because I'm thinking I want to put that here, but we'll make big decisions later. So that one's ready. We can move our cover until we get all the signature pages folded. And I want to keep them in order because I have them the way I want them to go into the book. So I guess it's your sneak peek preview into Miss D's journal. Most of the time when I'm making a book, I don't have all this much stuff on the desk. But I'm making a video, so I got a couple projects going on. So you just want to take your pages, make sure they're lined up. I'm not worrying about the little things that are hanging because I didn't glue them down yet. Those are my embellishments. I just want to make sure the pages all line up. You see how flat that gets? And if you see any loose tape or anything, you can just glue that down. And I'll be going through all that again after I get done. Okay. Nia, this is for you, because I don't think your journal is bound yet. So you can see the process. It's the pages that we glued together, we taped together, because I wanted my pages to be long, so we just took some tape, 2 different papers, taped them together. Now we're just making sure everything lines up. The corners. And we're taking our bone folder and really crease it. And it'll lay flat. Nice. And then just lay them together. In my journals, I don't necessarily need every page to be perfectly laying. Part of junk journals is the bulky look, and I'm going to be adding ephemera and decorations to all these pages. So, and some of it will be hanging off. That's just the way I like to do it. And so these were some coffee dyed paper, but this was a light coffee dye this day. Coffee dye comes out different every time, every time. I like mine dark, but I chose spaces where things kind of went together. So pages aren't fully decorated yet. That's the fun part to me, the most fun part. Decorating these pages. I got some ideas started. And that's why some of it looks like things are hanging over. That stuff I got in the book, in the page, that I'm going to put on the page at some point. Okay. Is this helping anybody to see the process? Does it help? The neater you make this part, the neater your book will be. Oops. I think I'm going to add some of that fancy tape right there. Let's go. Oh, I like this. This tape is really cute. It has different images on it. And the more I do that, the stronger my pages will be. So they can be flipped open over and over. Just snip the extra. I save these little pieces for when I'm collaging. I'll add them to a collage. That looks nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. But it's worth taking this time. I'm going to move a little faster now. And this page too. Looks like it could be fancied up just a little bit more. You know, I want to save this one, not this one. I have another dark one. This one. And this is just washi tape. This is big sheets of washi tape. That's so cool to me how they can make it really big like this. And I'm going to go well over the edge on this. Like this much over. Let it be part of the design of the page. And I could have went a little further down. Not doing the best job of lining that up. I think I ripped it off just a hair shy of what I really should have. I'm going to call that good. Oh, it's perfect. Go in the front, little off on the back, but it's going to be down in the seam. That's why I went over on that one side so it could be seen. This side won't be seen, it'll be down in the binding. Snip off the extra. Don't do that. And smooth it. Oh, I like this page now. I like that. Almost done. 2 or 3 more. And then we'll get to the sewing part. It's one of my favorite pages now. He needs a little of the decorating. I like how I put the pocket in already. Just need decorating and little pages. It's one of my favorites. And I do want to put a little extra on here. And let's use that same one. I love this washi. I'm going to go long again. I mean wide, so it hangs out so we can see it when the binding is on. Anybody working on their books? You can make your own tape. Maybe I'll do a video showing that. Sure can. You can decorate your own tape and use it just like this. It's just about getting paper and adding glue to it. Yep. I actually have one of my pages that I am planning to, because I'm kind of doing a more Egyptian-y feel, and so I'm going to be playing with that bone folder images, and so I was thinking of making seams and tails and things, and it's kind of like I'm going to have to make a tape to get it done. This one is a little thick because I have that little pamphlet in there that I made, so I got to press pretty hard. Forgive my nails. That looks so much better. Just adding that little bit of tape takes it to the next level, right? All right. And you want to be careful when you're laying your pages in that you keep your direction right. So that make sure everything is like the tops and the bottoms are in the right spaces. Because the next step is we're going to sew these. And once you sew it, that's what you'll have. And you'll be stuck. So I shouldn't have threw it down there like that, because that is generally a way to make a mistake. So let me keep it up a little closer. Okay, 2 more. Getting my corners lined up. The secret I found, if you line up and you start in the middle pressing, your paper will stay lined up. And then we take our bone folder. I keep misplacing that thing. But have no fear, I have another. This one actually feels better. Okay. Oh, that folded. Nice. And here's some of the dark washi. Those 2 pages are off. Maybe I should add a little washi on the bottom and make the pages the same length. Let's do, oh. Okay, now I'm decorating before we start. I have these strips that I said we were going to use for decorating. I could just make the page a little longer. Why not? Remember I said I had to cut my own paper. I had bought paper for the copy machine and it was the wrong size. It was too big. So I ended up cutting the paper so it would fit in the copier. And sometimes the cuts would be a little off. And that's where all these strips came from. But I'm going to use them in my decorating is what I decided. So all we're going to do is lengthen our paper. Look at there. Nobody could ever tell. Okay. And of course we're going to embellish on these some more. Oh, that was 2 pieces. I was wondering why that was curling up. Okay. Ain't mad. Ain't mad at all. Between the bone folders and the scissors, I'm just leave that there for now. I'm going to get to the binding part. Last one. For this signature, I got one more signature to go. But we're going to sew this one in first. Nice. And this is the center of my signature. And so I always try to do something special. I started a painting that I'll be working on in the center of the journal. So I have all those folded out. I'm going to line them up. And your journal should start fitting better together. Mine are going to hang a little bit over the edge, but that's okay. I'll trim them later or leave them because I have that canvas in there. So, the journey for binding. You can see if I get my binding kit out. Got a big pile of stuff down there, dear hearts. All right. So what we need for binding, we need a needle, some kind of string, rope, or thread. And you can add charms if you like, some clamps to hold our books. And that's about it, really. So, all we have to do is find the center again. Line our pages up. You can do that tapping. And I'm going to clamp them. The canvas is longer than everything else. Make sure they're all fitting in the way I want. Be a little bit tighter. I feel the canvas is a little off, but I'm okay with that. So got that all lined up. Now, I'm not going to do the measuring and doing all that, making a template or anything. I usually just eyeball mine, and that's all I'm going to do with this one. So I want to get a needle with a big eye so I can thread it. And with our string, we want to go 3 times the height of our paper. So 1, 2, 3, and because I'm Miss D, I do a little bit extra. How many pairs of scissors have I pulled out? Now we just want to thread our needle. If you get a big eye, it won't take much to thread it. This one has wax on it. You see the wax peeling up, this thread, this twine. And so I have my needle threaded with one end longer than the other. Okay. Oh, we do need one more thing. We need our awl, or as my daughter says, our shank. An awl makes holes in your paper. Let me look at chat before I start. Some fancy tape, yes. The map, Wonder if I can make my own tape, yep. And you should show, and I will. Okay, so I have everything lined up. And I really only like to line one side because I think it pulls more. And then I just kind of guess. So I'm going to make 3 holes. I'm going to make one in the center and one to the top, about an inch, half an inch away from the very top, and about a half an inch to an inch away from the bottom. So one in the middle. I split my fingers. You want to be really careful making the holes that you don't poke yourself. Really careful. So I have my needle through. Can you see that needle? And I just turn it a little bit. And what I do, and because I'm not real fancy in my craft room, I just get her done. I make my holes and start the stitching right then, because then I know the paper hasn't moved, and I can slide it in. So with the pamphlet stitch, you're having those 3 holes. You're going to go in through the middle. You can either come in from the outside, and your string will hang end up hanging on the outside. If you start from the outside, I started from the end, so my last strings will end up hanging on the inside. And then I'm going to make my bottom hole. I'm kind of lining up, and about half an inch to an inch from the bottom, and I'm just poking through where we joined the 2 papers together with the tape and the paper seams we made. I'm just going through all that with the awl. See, the awl's on the outside again. See it right there? And I'm pushing through, not making my hole too big, so I stop pushing as I see my awl getting fatter. The more you push, the bigger your hole. So I like mine medium size, and I take my awl out, hold these papers, and I take my needle in from the bottom. That little piece that's hanging up there, I will fix. and we're straight in. See, I think when I make my holes, pull my thread as I make them, it's easier. And you want some of this tail to hang, so you're going to keep an eye that you don't pull this piece all the way. This piece, that's not helping. That you're not pulling the bottom thread all the way through. You want to leave some of that hanging. Okay, and then we're going to go to the top. You see how fast it's going? This is almost done. And I actually could have put the cover on while I did this. I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to measure about 1/2 inch down, lining it up, and I'm pushing through. I really wish I would have thought about my cover and did that. But I will do it right now. Paper's moved. So I'm pushing the tape around the awl because all the pieces of paper come out. And so then I just go up to the top. Push my needle through. Really smooth, really easy. This wax thread is good and strong, so this should be bound pretty nice. And then the last thing we have to do is come through the middle one more time. Find the center. And I like to take my awl back through. That way I know all the papers are lined up and I have less trouble. The awl's through. I twist a little bit and then I just take my needle right through. And the real big deal is to make sure that you take one of your threads and go underneath the thread that's running through the middle. That's really important if you want your book to stay bound. Then all you do is I'm tightening it up, making sure my pages are laying kind of where I want them. And I pull the strings, but not too tight, but tight enough. And then I just simply make a knot. And for security, I do it twice. And just because I'm anal, I go the opposite way and do it one more time. And let those hang. And those pages are bound together. Now what I normally do is bind the cover and the book at the same time. I just slip that, but you see, now we have a book. Nothing's falling out. You have a book. I want to stitch it onto my journal, but because I did that, it's making double work. I'm telling you, we really want to do that, stitch it to the cover at the same time. That's my bad. That was an error that I didn't. So I have to go back and do it now. You usually don't have to. When you're putting the holes through, you do it all at once. So I'm going to find my center page. Sorry about that. So you'll get to see the process again. Today you'll get to see it 3 times. And this will be a well-bound book. Or if I didn't want to do that, I could just glue these signatures onto the cover. But I like to sew them because I need this baby to stay. So we're going to sew that. That was my mistake, making double work. It's okay. It's okay. I'm lining everything up. test my cover. Make sure the pages can move the way I want the pages to move. And they're lined there all in there neatly. And it's going to pull a little bit when you're testing with the clamps on. The main thing is placement. Okay. I could move this over just a little bit because I'm only going to put 2 signatures in this book. Wish I would have did that at the first. We would have already been doing our second signature and almost done. How you guys doing? Y'all hanging in there? I'll be done in a little bit and I'll let you go. I won't keep you too long. But I wanted everybody to see this process. Oh yeah, that's a good place. This one is here. Then my next signature can be here. Just a scooch. Okay. So, I'm going to simply find my needle before I get started. And put some more thread on it. I tell you, I can do some things on this desk. Somebody had, oh, I put it back in, huh? Alright, I'm gonna put the cover to the signature. I forgot to do that first step. We're gonna do it again. That means we're gonna have double strings. 1, 2, 3. We're making our string about 3 times the height of our pages. I always add a little bit extra so I can get more dangly space. Thread the needle. Some people get worked up at this part, but I find it's really pretty simple and straightforward. Alright. Needle's threaded. We're going to pull till we have uneven so that it doesn't come off. Make sure everything is lined up. About here is perfect. Here looks good. Here looks good. Clamp it down so it doesn't move around on you. Then I'm just going to simply go through. The holes are already made since I made that air. That way I'll know that everything's pretty lined up. I'm going to fill for my cover. I don't like the tightness of that. So I'm going to clamp on this side so I can really feel when I open and close it. There we go. That gives me a true test. Okay, that's perfect placement. I'm just going to go in the hole I already made. Watching my finger. I'm making a split. That's really close to the edge, but okay. You see my pokey tool coming through? Can you see that? There's the pokey tool. And I'm going to twist. And pull the awl out. Then I'm going to stick my needle right in that same hole. Pull it out, leaving a tail hanging. Once you can do this, you can do it pretty fast. Then I'm going to go do the bottom hole. Being careful not to poke myself. Let that come through. Could have been a little further down, but it's okay. It's not bad. The awl coming through. Yeah, that could have been a little further down, but not going to worry about it. Just stick the needle through the hole. Felt like it was a little off, so I stick the awl back in to make sure I can get my needle through the hole. All the papers catch. Okay? Little off, little off. If that happens, you can actually see through if you have to. I don't know why that's trying to give me the blues. It really is. Okay. So maybe I need to make the hole a little bit bigger. So I'm just pushing the awl a little bit further down so that it all catches. Hold that, and hopefully I can go straight through. There we go. It keeps getting lost somewhere in there. So when that happens, I just look and see which pages aren't getting caught. There we go. It's not a biggie. Don't let this end slide all the way out. We're going to go to the top and do the same thing. Push it all the way through. Got my fingers split so I don't poke myself. Twisting my awl. And I'm just going to come straight up to the top from the bottom. Feeling for the hole. It wants to elude me. There we go. Pull my string. And then the one last hole in the middle is already there. I'm just sticking the awl in there to make sure I have the hole opened up for the needle, and then we just simply come back through the middle. So that's middle, bottom, top, middle. Okay. Not okay. Where'd you get lost? Where'd you get lost? Ooh, that doesn't usually happen. But I got it. I'm fishing for the hole. I don't generally have that problem because I sew covers on most of the time when I'm putting the signatures together. That was my bad. But not to fear. Just tighten your hole up. Find your hole. Felt it. Felt that slip into place. It takes a second, but you can do it. There we go. Then I'm going to pull my needle off. I want to be careful to have one side underneath our center rope, or center string in this case. And because we have that extra, we want to really be careful. Make sure we got the right center. And it's in between. I'm just tightening up. Making sure everything's tight. Like, see, that's loose. So you want to pull your string until everything's tight. Good. And good. Could be a little tighter. Let's make that a little tighter. Check again. Make sure you're pulling the right strings. Since we got the 4, which is really too much. That feels good. And that feels good. Okay. I got the 2 right strings. I have them, the center ropes right here. They're in between them. Tightening up. Making my knot. Sorry about that, you guys. That's usually just one step to put it in. We would be done. We would be completing our second signature and we would be done. I like all those strings. So now your book signature is attached to your book. You're making a book. And I got one more signature I'm going to put in. Ladies, it's been an hour and a half. How do you feel? Do you want to see that last signature go in and make some tags? Or do you feel like you want to spend the day with your family? I think I wouldn't be upset if you left. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this last signature in. I think I'm going to leave the live running. And get on done with this journal. So I have one more signature that I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to try to make quick work of that. I want to find that needle before I lose it. Put some string on it, that way I won't lose it. One, 2, 3 times the size of my book. And this time we're going to sew it into the cover when we put the signature in. So it'll be 1 step instead of the 2 we just did. Okay. That was nice of my brother to stop by. I feel special. I don't know if he's still there. He's not really a crafty kind of guy. But the fact that he took time to come by and wish me a happy Mother's Day, it felt really good. Okay, so it's the same thing we just did. Is making sure your signatures are flat. I'm not going to take this one all the way apart because I got a lot of space in that journal. So a little book is all right. Just certain pages, I'm just going to make sure that they're flat. I'm not going to take it all the way apart. This is going to be quick. Just making sure that I don't need to do anything to the binding spot. This book has a lot of pink. This signature, I mean, is one of, I like this signature a lot. Nice. All right. This looks like I might want to, let's see. Oh yeah, this is my center signature. I think I want to jazz this one up just a little bit more because it's the center of our book. And let's put some special paper on this. Where's, not this one. We used you, but I guess it would make it look like the other signature to have one page like that. How that look? Ooh, that looks pretty. Let's go for it then. What happens is the washi kind of takes on the color of what's underneath it. That's pretty. So I'm going to let this one kind of hang over onto the signature page so that we get to see it. That's pretty how that pale pink is popping up through there. And just fold it this way. Do a little trim. Okay. Line it back up. Now because this is center, I think I want something in the middle that's light. Maybe have one that's script. There we go. Let's use this. It's a little thicker than I really want, so I think I'm going to cut it in half. Or maybe I could do that. That'll work. Okay. Nice tape for the middle of the page. Oh, Mike, you were still here? Thank you. I didn't know you were still here. Yeah, we're making a journal. Thank you for stopping by. That was so nice of you. Mike is my brother. in real life. Just stopped by to see his crafty sister, and I appreciate that. Okay, just do my trim up. Do crystalline, and I'm ready to start sewing this one in already. Hey Mike, did you talk to Tracy today? How's Trey? When I get done with this live, I'm gonna call her. My baby sister is sick, and I gotta make sure she's all right. All right. And we're gonna call that a signature. What was that that just slipped down there? I like the signature, the colors. All right, we're ready to sew this baby in. And our journal will be halfway done, and we get to decorating. My favorite part is all that decorating. So what we want to do, I'm going to leave kind of a big valley because I could add another whole signature should I decide I want to make more. So I want to decide if I want to leave space back here. I definitely want to glue that down, but I'll do that after we get this in. I could leave it in the middle, or I could leave it back here. I think I'm going to leave it on the tail end. And then I can add another signature. I definitely have pages done, but I thought 2 would be enough for us to do together. So I want to line this up. Make sure everything is fitting in. This signature is a wee bit longer than my book, so I want the top to be definitely all lined up. And I'm just going to trim some of that away right down while I can see it. Because it's not the pages that are too big, it's the signature cover that's a little bit longer. And so I can rectify that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I could handle that a little bit. All right, so we're ready. We're gonna space it so that we could add a signature to the front or to the back. How about that? If we need to add another signature. So I want to find my middle. And on this one is that pink page with my girl, this page. That's our center. And make sure we're lined up, that nothing's hanging out the top and the bottom. And I want to clamp it. There we go. Take another look. Make sure it looks the way we want it to look. Pretty good. Okay. I like that valley gutter. I think I'm going to leave it there. Take a look. Because I can add an extra signature if I need to. Alright, let's sew this baby in. Yeah, a little bit more over, and then my ends will be at the right same space. Right about here. That matches the other side. Okay, and we'll pick up our needle, and we'll be done here in a few seconds. Find my awl. With this one, I kind of want to make my holes in the same space. See a little more movement there than I want. I will tie that knot tighter in a minute. I'm kind of going to try to get my holes in the same space. Kind of, sort of. Doesn't have to be perfect. It is not tight enough right there, but I'll tighten it up. Watching my finger, pushing through. There we have it. The awl is on the outside. Twist a little bit. Stick my needle in. Just as I pull the awl out. Leave a tail hanging. I'm going to try to keep everything lined up. And go to the bottom. About this, I'm just guessing from this hole to this hole that I'm getting in the same space. About an inch, half inch from the bottom. I see that string needs to be tightened. I think that might be the first time that's ever happened to me, that after I put it in, I see the string might need to be tightened. So we'll find that interesting how I tighten that up. Alright. So we're gone through the bottom. Twist my awl. Hold the pages steady. Take my needle back through that same hole. Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Almost done. You'll see once you get the hang of this, it's nothing. So I'm going to guesstimate at the same angle. Push my awl. Fingers gap so I don't poke myself. Push it all the way through. And give it a little twist. Take the needle through that same hole. I'm going to let one of the strings come through. Tightening as I do it. One last hole. It's not even a hole, it's just come through the center. And we'll be all done. you'll see that once you get the hang of it, it's really simple. Finding my center page. Okay. I like this center page, is bright. And see if I can send that through. Or do I have to stick the all in? Yeah, I better stick the all in. Can't really fill the hole. And I want them to line up. There we go. Getting some tightness. Trying to stay close to the awl. The problem gets to be that some of the pages move. I can kind of track the needle and see where it moved at. Okay, so we're just right here. I'm gonna get it in here. Good. Good, a little bit more. And there we have it. Just gonna pull my needle off. Tighten up, making sure I have one side of the string on each side of that center. I want to make sure everything is tight. Could be tighter. Not too tight, but not too loose. Well, that feels much better than the first. So let's do that. We did it. We got our signatures into our book. Voila! You've created a book. That looks good. We're going to do some decorating back here. This could be a little tighter on that first signature. But basically, really nice work. And that's because I had to do that 2 times thing. I think that threw it things off. Having to go through the cover in that the way I did. So I'm just going to pull tight on all of it. That's better. And re-knot it. Making sure I have them on both sides. And that should take care of that. Nice. 3 whole pamphlet stitch, they call that. Now right where the needle came through, I'm just gonna cover, because I think I'm going to put material on my cover. But there we have it, guys. We have sewn in our signatures, and our journal is on the way. We are ready to start decorating this baby. Diva, let's see. I can hear the fires. Yeah, there's a fire truck or something around my house. Sorry about that. Thanks for liking the pages. I do have specific plans for this baby. I'm excited to get it stitched in. And start the decorating. Ready to start. I probably will do that today as I let you guys go. And I have room right here. I could put another whole signature in. So next week when you come back, I may have another signature in there. Or I can leave it like that and have a place for my pencils. Oh, that's pretty nice to think about, huh? To have a place for a paintbrush or a pencil or something right in the middle. Right in the middle of the signatures. I can make something to hold paintbrushes or pens or something right there. That's pretty interesting to think about. I'm going to play with the little gusset valley. Wow, dear hearts, we did it. We got our book bound. I don't know if we're working on 2 hours that we've been live. I'm going to still be at my craft desk even when I let you guys go. I got a few things I want to make for the journal, and I got to clear off all this stuff. So don't feel like you got to hang around if you don't want to. But I know some people like videos to work by. So they like longer ones because they sit at their desk and they craft. So what I think I'm going to do is end this live, and I think I'm going to just record a video of me starting to make embellishments, so that we can get ready for working together next week. Oh, we should all be at decorating our pages by next week. I want to thank you all for hanging out. I'm not sure if my next video will be a live or me recording a video. But I know I'm going to continue to craft. I'm so excited to have those signatures put in books. I'm so excited that it's Mother's Day. And I got my gifts together. Misty. I'm going to have to wear my hair up and show off my earrings, okay? Oh, I can get away with I can figure out how to turn my head. Everything is backwards when you're trying to see yourself on a camera. I love these. Yeah, all I gotta do is pin my hair back. That D is hanging, ain't it? It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, so I'll see you guys next week. Next week, since we have our books all bound up, we will be doing embellishments. And so have fun in your journals until then. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We miss Cheryl today. Thank you, Poetic Angels. Let me flash Poetic Angels Dear Heart recognition. She was the Dear Heart for the 3rd week of Dear Heart appreciation. I'm going to do a little bit more tucking and working on this, and I'll show it next week. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day to the mothers, and I'll see you all next week. Hope you like it, Poetic Angels. Bye. Yeah, I'm showing off just a little bit before I click off. Maybe I can get a thumbnail shot. If I comb my hair, I probably could, huh? Just Miss D in the craft room being Miss D. Bye. See you next week.